Hello there, YouTubers and true believers out there. This is your friendly neighborhood Bobby coming to you with an update. Let's talk about a little bit more about depression, and it's how do you know you have depression? How do you know? I'll be honest with you. When I was growing up, and I always thought that my certain circumstance of living was always normal. I didn't know. I didn't know what I had was depression. I thought it was just normal living that way. I always thought that, it's normal to feel debilitated in bed, that you can't move, that you can't able to function properly. I thought it was normal to be, to always feel like there's a cloud above your head. I thought it was normal to, feel like you have no control of your emotions, and sometimes you just feel like you're at the lowest point of your life. I always thought those certain types of feelings were normal. But after seeking help, you start to understand that those aren't normal, especially attempting suicide. Attempting suicide is usually the biggest indicator of depression. It's not always the case, but it's one of the top to understand that depression will come. Depression is usually a leading cause of suicide or suicidal thoughts or harming yourself. And also depression can also lead to addictions, to drugs, opiates, anything, all the above. With me, I didn't know I had it until I sought help, until I sought professional help, and that is when they were like, yeah, that's depression. What you're going through is not normal. So my type of symptoms were always not just feeling down, but just feeling low. It's feeling low about yourself, low about everything. ADHD and depression coexist with each other, actually. And excuse me, my mother texted me. Anyway, depression symptoms. Always feeling low, always feeling like you can't do anything, unattentive, unable to keep focus on something. Like I said, ADHD and depression coexist with each other because you're not capable of fulfilling those certain activities that you need to be done. Sometimes depression can also lead to certain forms of anxiety. Even the simplest task can lead to anxiety. Like, how am I supposed to do this? Sometimes on certain days I get bad spells, and even trying to focus on making my bed is hard. And then let me repeat that: making my bed. That's not normal. You shouldn't be able to unfocus on doing that or getting anxiety over the thought of doing just minuscule chores or minuscule things to do. Getting anxieties just by calling somebody, taking care of bills or anything like that. Now, I understand people do get anxieties over certain bills and whatever. That's a different story. But what I'm talking about is the approach. What I'm talking about is the focus on keeping the mentality of doing certain projects. Depression is debilitating. It can make you feel paralyzed. It can make you feel unable to move in the mornings or at night. Not being able to function in the real world. And those are just some of the symptoms. Those are some of the ways that you do know that you have depression. Is depression abused? Is the term depression abused? Yes and no. excuse me, I do believe that. I do believe that sometimes depression can be just tossed all over the place, just like ADHD. Everybody has it apparently. When that's not the case. That's not the case at all. And also, I don't believe that pseudosciences and all that certain things can truly solve the symptoms of depression and ADHD. Like, just go on a gluten-free diet. No. Sure, it can help, but it doesn't, it's a supplement, just like the supplement industry. These are certain products that help or may help, but they don't solve the problem. What solves the problem with depression are therapy and medication and lots of training to cope with depression. Coping with depression. I don't think there's a cure. There is no such thing as a cure to depression. If you have it, you have it. That's just it. You have it, you have it. You can't just be like, I'm feeling fantastic. I don't have it anymore. Then you never had depression, You were just going through a rough week, Depression it comes in spells. Even me, I'm on medications, but it comes in spells. Like some days I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling great. I can take care of things. And then some days, holy fuck, it's almost impossible for me to get out of bed. And I always thought, well, it's just because I'm lazy and I'm tired. That's what my brain was telling me. My brain was giving me this poor reflection of myself. Like, you're just lazy. You're just sad for no reason. You're selfish. You're spoiled or whatever. These are certain things that create the stigma of depression, when really it's not. If people were just to look through the lenses of somebody that really has depression, then people would understand. Because the mind can affect the body, and the body can affect the mind, whatever. So when seeking help, like, one of the first things is when you feel there is something wrong, you need to seek help, period. Period. Seek help and do it now. Don't wait. Do it now. And don't feel like you got a weakness. Don't feel like you got something that is ashamed of having. Don't be ashamed of having a mental illness. There's nothing to be ashamed of. It's just like having any other illness. It really is. It's not, it's the same thing as having asthma. You need medications for asthma, or how are you going to breathe? You need to breathe to function. Well, with depression, you need medications in order for you to function through daily life, so that you can be productive, so that you can be able to get into social gatherings, so that you are able to contribute into society. That's why it should not be considered as something as a stigma or something that is just passed to the side. This is real stuff. You're not going to tell somebody with asthma, like, what's wrong? Look at all this air. Why can't you just breathe it? Oh, gee, I don't know. My lungs closed up. Okay, how about you talk to them? It's the same thing with depression. Like, oh, come on, man. We're at an amusement park. Why do you feel so sad? Like, it's the same thing. Like, you see celebrities that have depression. They have loads of money and fancy houses and cars. But look at somebody like Robin Williams. He fought with depression. He fought depression. I'm not going to say he lost. That is unfair. He did not lose. He was a victim of that illness. And that's what happens. And that is why this needs to be spread out more and more. This is why people need to understand the symptoms of depression before there are more victims of its grasp. Because depression is just like a cancer. And the cancer doesn't only just spread through the person who has depression, but it spreads into the family and friends of those who love someone with depression, because it affects everyone. Because next thing you know, they're worried about like so and so. It's real. That's why it needs to be taken care of. So if you feel like you have something wrong, do not hesitate to seek help. Do not hesitate to talk to someone. And for those that are the ones that are chosen to be talked to with someone that has depression, please do not assume that it's just a one-time thing. It's not. It's going to keep occurring. And it's going to keep happening. And it may get worse or it may get better. You don't know. So, and don't just try to give them advice or how to feel better. Because, believe me, they probably have read all that. They probably tried a gluten-free diet. They probably tried all forms of meditations and practices. And sometimes they just don't work. Or they may work, but you still have spells. And that's okay. That is okay. Just talk to them. Just talk to them. Don't give them advice. Just allow them to talk. That is the number one thing. Don't just, the worst thing you can do to somebody is with depression, is give them advice on how to be happier. Don't do that. Just don't. Let them talk. Just let them talk. And that's what helps them. That's what helps them. And trust is one of the greatest medications for depression. Trust in someone else. It really is. Depression is a social disease. Depression is a mental illness. Depression is a cancer. So, please, reach out to those that have it. And for those that do have it, reach to others for help. Find a therapist, a counselor. Do your best to find psychiatric help. And believe me, around this area, it's very hard to find. And we need to work on that. That's another video in the future I'm going to do. But please, don't hesitate. Do not hesitate. If you have to go to your family doctor, then do so. Don't wait till the last minute, because I lost a friend to depression. I lost a friend because they were at the lowest moment of their life, and I lost them. They committed suicide, and I miss them dearly. And I think to myself, wow, that could have been me. Because I'll be open and honest with this, I have tried. I have tried to end. And many times I thought about it. But don't wait. Do it now. All right. This is your friendly neighborhood Bobby coming to you with an update. And please have a wonderful day. And don't ever, ever, ever doubt yourself. Have confidence in yourself and be who you are. And depression does not define you. You define you.